Hi, I'm Debi Peverill from Painless Financial Training Group, and what this video is about is filling in your Nova Scotia TD1 form for 2019. We have a video for doing the federal form, and this one is about the provincial form. So a lot of it's the same. If you watch the federal, this is really just different numbers. So basically, it's a two-page form. The first box on your Nova Scotia TD1 is your name, your address, your date of birth, and your social insurance number. All information that you should have. So that part should be easy. However, when you get to box 1, it stops being easy. Nova Scotia has a two-tier basic exemption for taxes. So if your income is below $25,000, then you are allowed to make $11,481 provincially before you pay any provincial tax. If your income is over $75,000, then you are allowed to make $8,481 before you pay any provincial tax. So there's $50,000 between the basic number of 25, where you get the full $11,481 deduction, and the $75,000, where you only get the basic $8,481. So in between, of course, it's prorated. So the example we have here, if your income is $50,000, then the way you do the form is you've got $75,000 less the $50,000 gives you $25,000. You multiply that by 6%, and that is $1,050. Sorry, $1,500. So your base claim is the $8,481 plus the $1,500, which is $9,981. So everyone whose income is between $25,000 and $75,000 in Nova Scotia has to fill in this worksheet in order to get the correct basic exemption. And as you'll see as I go through the other boxes, there is proration involved in many of the other boxes as well, but I won't go into as much detail for each one of them because it's the same basic thing. Okay, so box 2. If you're over the age of 65 at the first day of 2019, then you can make $30,828 up and get the full exemption. So the full exemption is $4,141. Anybody who makes less than $30,828 gets that. After you have earned $58,435, you can make zero claim. In between those two numbers, the $30,000 number and the $58,000, you prorate it. Box 2.1 is for people whose net income is $25,000 or less. For those people, they get an additional $1,465 partial credit. Okay, so that is an additional bump for the people under $25,000, and then there's proration for the other group who is in between the bottom limit of the 30 and your $58,000 maximum claim. So Nova Scotia has made pretty much every one of the calculations more complicated. They have base rates that apply for lower income and proration that applies up to what they consider to be higher income. Box 3 is pension income, not CPP, not OAS. If you've got pension from other sources but those two, then you get a claim, again, of an exemption of $1,173. That is the amount that you would put in box 3. Box 4 is tuition. So if you yourself are paying tuition and it's more than $100 a year, the amount of this tuition goes in box 4, the total amount. Just tuition, not books, not room and board, nothing but tuition. Box 5 is a disability tax credit. If you are eligible for this, you have a letter from CRA saying you're eligible for it, and the exemption is $7,341, and that's what you put in box 5. In box 6, if you support a spouse whose income is less than $9,329, then you enter the difference between that amount and their income. Okay? If their income is over the $9,329, then there is no claim. Any amount between actually $828 and this $9,329, there's a proration, and it's on a worksheet, again attached to the Nova Scotia TD1, so that you can see how to do that. If you don't have a spouse, but you do have a child, then there's the equivalent to married deduction, which works the same way. The difference between their income and the $9,379, there's a proration. The more income that your dependent earns, the less of a deduction that you get. Box 8 is the caregiver amount, which applies only to parents or grandparents who are living with you. The amount is $4,898. if your dependent's income is less than $13,677. If it is more than that, then there is no deduction. The amount less than that, there is a proration. Box 9 is an infirm dependent, not necessarily living with you, not claimed in Box 8, whose income is under $8,481. And then you can claim $2,798 if in fact that is the situation you have. But again, it's not the people in Box 8. This is another dependent you have in Box 9. Box 10 is what you can transfer from your spouse. If your spouse can't use their age exemption, their pension amount, or their tuition up to $5,000 or disability, then that amount can be transferred to you. Box 11 is the dependent transfer, not the spouse, but another kind of dependent. And you can have that transfer be the disability tax credit or the amount for tuition. And again, the tuition is a maximum of $5,000. So we now have all the numbers from 1 to 11. We need to add them all up and put that total in the final box. Okay, so this number, that is essentially the amount of money you can make in the province of Nova Scotia before you pay provincial tax. If you've done your federal TD1 and your provincial TD1, you will see that there are significant differences between the amount you can earn federally and the amount you can earn provincially, and you do pay tax to both of those entities. A couple of things. Page 2. The box for more than one employer. If you have more than one employer in a year, you need to be careful. An employer's default is to assume that you can make the basic exemption, the $8,481, before you pay any income tax. So if you've already earned that much money this year before you have a new employer, you need to tick that box so that your new employer doesn't claim it again. The thing that will happen if you do end up, not ticking that box, is that you're going to have a tax bill to pay at the end of April because you won't have had enough tax taken off of your salary. There's also a box there for non-residents. If you are a non-resident of Canada filling in this form, you need to speak to accountants who have experience with non-residents in order to determine what you should be doing with this form. So seek competent professional advice if you're a non-resident of Canada filling in a TD1 form. You can also put at the bottom of this form additional tax if you want to have more taken off your paycheck, and some people do that as a forced method of savings so that when the time comes to pay their income tax, they have already had significant deductions taken and they should be getting a refund. So that is basically it. The Nova Scotia TD1 and the Nova Scotia worksheets. You hopefully have a better idea of how to fill those out properly so that you're having the right amount of tax deducted from your pay.